Mickey and Matt, there's no real update, mate. Same as a few weeks back. International break. We've had a couple of issues out of that. Young Ash Phillips picked up an ankle injury with the England team, so he's out for a little while. Still sort of assessing it, but at least probably a month out. And then we're just checking on Pape Sarr, who's got a bit of an issue coming back from national team as well. So we'll just see how he is tomorrow. Didn't train today. Aside from that, I think we obviously Biss is suspended, but we'll get Destiny back. I think everyone else is okay. No, I don't think it's whether people are listening or not. I think it's fair enough. When obviously our last two results haven't been great, but I guess my point is that as I've said all along, we're at the beginning of trying to build something, and I think it's always important wherever I've been in the early stages that you stay really focused on that, on the kind of football we want to play, the kind of team we want to be, and not allow short-term sort of results, good or bad, either way, to kind of influence how you're going. And like I said, but people will always kind of question and I guess scrutinise my approach or our approach. I understand that, and it's not really about me trying to convince people about what we're going to do. It's more about sort of internally making sure that the players, staff, we just stay on course.
You've had some bad injuries.
Yeah, no, we're obviously, they all sort of, I guess the challenging bit for us, they all came at once. It hasn't kind of been staggered. So, but, in terms of January, the planning's well away with that. Obviously, Johan has come in and he's leading that in terms of all the background work. And, my involvement won't sort of ramp up till we get closer to sort of January and understanding exactly what our requirements are at the moment. All that work's been done in the background, and with Johan leading it, and he's obviously brought in some people as well to help him in that area. We'll work with him when the time's right.
Premier League clubs have voted against a temporary ban on loan deals between associated clubs for the January transfer window. What do you think about almost half the Premier League clubs owning other clubs? Is it good for football? And do you think Tottenham maybe are at a disadvantage because they're not in that situation?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, this whole football landscape is constantly sort of evolving and changing. It's certainly a lot different to what sort of even in the recent past, the traditional model of ownership of football clubs. It's changing, and I think all football clubs are looking at different ways how they're going to structure themselves. It's not a space I spend a lot of time thinking about because it's stuff that's kind of out of my control, and really, I try and deal with the structure we have in place here, and there's a pretty clear structure in here, at Tottenham about the way the club's run, and that's kind of where my focus lies.
Cheers, Ange.
Thanks, bud.
Rob. Condition is in ahead of this weekend.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He trained this morning, it was good for Roddy to play. He was really keen to get back into the national team setup. I mean, obviously, he was keen to get back with us as well, but he obviously missed a fair bit of that national team, and it's something he feels like most players, I guess, really proud about representing his country. So, and the fact that he got an opportunity to start, I think it's good for us. It gives him that confidence that he can get through a game. Obviously, that he hasn't happened with us, but he's sort of increased his game time. So I'm assuming he's come out of it, with even more sort of confidence about himself and where he's at, and that's good for us. I think that's a positive.
Has this been
a headache a bit?
Yeah, look, I think the back four is probably the major issue for us at the moment. We're kind of really low on sort of depth there, but like I said, midfield as well. And look, as I said, that's just the period we're going through at the moment. We've got a lot of absences, our numbers are down, but it's also a time where other guys get an opportunity. And from my perspective, in this early phase, it's about trying to expose as many people as we can to see how we cope with playing our football under stress and when there are changes and against different kinds of opposition.
okay, George?
I think the beauty of him is he can play a couple of different areas. I think he can play as a 6, he can play sort of further forward 8. he's even creative and I think he can score goals as well. So I think, you know, we're kind of hoping that, you know, with him and Matters and Pape and Biss, you know, Pierre, sort of, you know, we were well stocked in that midfield area for kind of different kinds of combinations, but obviously that's been disrupted a bit. But look, like I said, I think the key for Rodrigo is just to get him back to that level physically and mentally where he feels really comfortable about, you know, sort of playing at this level. And I don't think he's far off it, you know, from what I've seen. And again, certainly over the next sort of few weeks, he'll get that opportunity.
You know, you can get back on a run after a little while.
Yeah, no, they've been good since you know, he's got there. You know, they've been really consistent with the way they play their football, and particularly, you know, over recent weeks they're scoring goals and you know, Phil, you know, obviously got a great deal of belief, so it's going to be a great test for us. But you know, we're at home, you know, apart from sort of the Chelsea game, you know, the result there, our home form's been really strong, and we just got to make sure we get back to that. And as you said, everyone's got, you know, we don't have 2 injuries, we've got a few more than that. So, but we like I said, every club will go through it, and for me, you know, it does allow me to really kind of look at every aspect of our squad, you know, and you know, you kind of try and do that by design, but sometimes it's just, you know, that's the sort of our existence at the moment, where guys will get an opportunity to play, and it's great for me to see how they cope with playing our football, how they cope with the stress of, you know, playing against good opposition. So it'll be a good test for us, but you know, it's one we have to be up for.